Hey friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Tracy. I'm the maker and creator behind Made to a T. I've been making tumblers for about 4.5 years, but this is my first YouTube tutorial. I'm so happy you stopped by and hope you enjoy this video. Let's go ahead and jump right in. In this video, I will show you how to create a smoke or cloudy look to a tumbler. Here I'm using a 30-ounce modern curved tumbler from Hog Outfitters that I have already painted with flat white Rustoleum 2X spray paint. Using a fork and the flame from the candle, I create smoke. When you hover your tumbler over the smoke, the soot sticks to the painted tumbler and gives it the smoky or cloudy look. You can create as much or as little smoke as you want. You just want to keep turning the tumbler to get an even coverage for your design. This was a custom order that I received. The instructions that I received from the customer were to make it a murder of crows theme. It's not meant to be a Halloween style tumbler, but you could certainly create something similar to this as a Halloween tumbler. I'm going to let you watch the rest of this process of getting the smoke on the tumbler. In the next step, we will put the first coat of epoxy on. Now I'm ready to epoxy. I am using Alumilite's Clear Cast Plus epoxy. This is a UV resistant clear epoxy with a great glossy finish. The UV resistance helps prevent yellowing of the epoxy when exposed to excessive sunlight. This is my go-to epoxy when I am doing white or light colored tumblers. It is a 1-to-1 ratio epoxy. I mixed up more epoxy than I needed for this tumbler because I had other tumblers to coat as well. You can see as I put the epoxy on the tumbler, it really brings out the swirls of smoke and gives a nice cloudy look to the tumbler. Once I have the epoxy smoothed out and evenly distributed on the tumbler, I get my torch to pop any bubbles in the epoxy so I can get a nice smooth finish. Once I'm finished with the torch, I let it spin overnight and I'll come back to put my decals on it the next day. Now I'm back the next day, weeding the decals that will go on the tumbler. I used white Oracle 651 permanent vinyl for the moon and name, and black Oracle 651 for the quote and graveyard scene. I cut my decals in Cricut Design Space, and I downloaded the graveyard scene and crows from Creative Fabrica. I wasn't able to find the file to link below for you. They were two different files, the graveyard scene and the crows, that I pieced together in Design Space and welded so they cut as one piece. Once I had the decals weeded, I applied transfer tape to the vinyl to be able to put the decals onto the tumbler. I applied the moon first, then went in with the wrap, lining up the crows over the moon. Because this is a curved tumbler and I'm wrapping the decal around it, you're going to see me struggle quite a bit. I end up cutting the decal in a few places and piecing it together. You will see that I'm lining up as best I can the bottom of the decal to the seam at the bottom of the tumbler. Once I have the decals on, I will paint the bottom of the tumbler black and you won't see the smoky look on the bottom. I'm going to be quiet now and let you watch my struggles. I just want to say a quick thank you for clicking on this video and watching the tutorial. If you are enjoying this video, go ahead and click the thumbs up. And if you're interested in seeing my future videos, please click on the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you are notified when I upload new videos. Again, I appreciate you being here. Now let's get back to the video. Now that the struggle is over, I will remove the transfer tape from the decals, making sure the vinyl adheres to the tumbler. You'll notice that the branch the crows are sitting on doesn't extend all the way to the other tree. I had to cut the branch to place the tree straight, but not to worry. I originally cut this decal too large to wrap around the tumbler, so I have an extra piece of branch that I'm able to piece in. You won't even be able to tell that it wasn't one piece to begin with. I'll also cut the small overlap of vinyl where the two ends of the wrap come together so there isn't a noticeable seam. And I will straighten the fence pickets and piece in that branch. See? You can't even tell. Okay, so somehow I missed recording how I shaded the moon on the tumbler. So here I've inserted a clip of the technique. I cut another circle in white vinyl, and I will use pitch black alcohol ink and a piece of magic eraser to dab on the black ink. Then I spritz the eraser with some 70% rubbing alcohol and dab it over the ink to dilute and disperse it. After I get it all on the moon, I add more alcohol to the eraser and keep dabbing until I like the effect. If you blow on the ink while it's still wet with the alcohol, it blurs the ink even more and redistributes the color to give it a mottled look. This is really a fun technique to do, and I think it makes it look like the moon has craters and valleys. I did this to the moon I put on the tumbler and wanted to show you how I created the look. Once the moon was dry, it really didn't take that long. I was ready to paint the bottom of the tumbler. I wrapped painter's tape around the vinyl, then wrapped the top portion of the tumbler with plastic wrap and secured it with more painter's tape. I will be spray painting the bottom of the tumbler so the plastic wrap will protect it from any overspray. I used Rustoleum 2X black gloss spray paint. You could use matte black, but gloss is what I had on hand. Once you apply the epoxy, the paint and vinyl will be glossy and you won't be able to tell that it's vinyl and paint on the cup. After it's painted, while it's still a little tacky, I remove the plastic wrap and tape. I wear gloves while I'm doing this so I don't get paint on my hands, and I'm also being careful not to touch the wet paint so I don't mess up the paint or transfer paint to the top area of the tumbler. Once the paint is dried, after an hour or so, I go in with my second coat of epoxy. Up to this point, I had only put one coat of epoxy over the smoke. Again, I'm using Alumilite Clear Cast Plus with a 1:1 mixing ratio. You can see how the epoxy makes the black vinyl glossy and matches the paint, creating a seamless look. You can also see the shaded moon on the tumbler as it spins. You want to be sure you apply nice even coats of epoxy, smoothing it out and getting good coverage. Once I'm happy with the coverage, I will use my torch to pop the bubbles and let it spin overnight. I have my turners set up with timers, so for this epoxy, I set the timer for 8 hours and let it go. The next day, I applied the name to the tumbler and I applied another 2 layers of epoxy to get a smooth finish. And here's the final look. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I love the smoke technique for creating a cloudy look. As you can see, I also added my logo decal on the bottom, which includes care instructions. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. If you recreate this or something similar, please tag me on social media. I would love to see what you create. I will try to list and provide links to the products I used in the description below. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section. I would love to know how many of you made it all the way to the end of this video. Please leave me a bird emoji down in the comments. Thanks again for watching. See you in the next video. Bye!